Just gonna check the sound. Once I check that, I'll just call.
Keep saying about the custodian here.
Huh? Oh, you're filling up. That was it.
Finally got a key cabinet at home after all these years. It's actually nice. After all these years.
All right.
It's actually nice. After all these years. Good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call Michelle. And put her on, so maybe. Hello? Hey, I'm gonna put you on speakerphone now. All right. There should be a Michelle there.
Hey guys, sorry I got my days all jumbled. I'm not there in person.
All good.
No worries.
Jamie's gonna start the meeting. We're doing the executive meeting first.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Troy Community Land Bank Executive Committee meeting. Today is March 13th, 2026. It is 8:45. We'll start with the call to order. Brian Barker. Here. Suzanne Spellin.
Here.
James Mager. Here. Also in attendance is Project Manager Paul Donnelly, Executive Director Brad Lewis, and our counsel, Michelle Marinelli. Absent is Monica Kuzieski. We will start with an approval of the meeting minutes from, excuse me, February 20th.
Awesome.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's passed, and we'll move right into our annual meeting topic.
All right. So we're combining the annual meeting with the regular in terms of getting our regular business done. So in the annual meeting, what we'll do is we're going to accept the audit from the audit committee. That's going to happen at 8:30. So audit committee right away. Alan Walther and Bonadil will come. They'll give the audit to the audit committee. They'll recommend it to the regular annual meeting. And then you guys will pass that resolution, then pass the resolution for the parish report. Then there was a conversation where somebody put in an application on the rentals we have at 834, and they wanted to lower the rent. And so we were going to talk the rent levels at, if the board wanted to do anything about it. Since then, we've had 2 or 3 applications come in. So we actually have a tenant selection committee scheduled for 7:30 on the 18th at night. So that means whatever action you guys take will apply to those decisions there. So obviously the board will decide if it wants to change rent levels or keep them the same or modify one of the units, or whatever they want to do. It's not a big deal to me either way. And then the other thing is one of the board members brought up the pet policy and wanted to go over that. And Katie gave us that policy that I'll send out for us to consider. So those will be consideration items. Any questions on that?
The rent, can we just approve a range, give you guys some freedom?
Michelle, that's on you.
Yeah, we could approve a minimum and I guess theoretically a maximum.
To give the tenant selection committee the ability to approve if they see fit.
So you're not, hamstrung.
Yeah, no, we can do that.
So we're not doing this for 836 and whatever else we do.
Right, 871, 836, right. And on that note, I did want to mention that the first floor, this is something that I've been thinking about a little bit. The first floor is actually a no office, and the second floor and third floor on 834 has an office in the front.
Right.
Which some people make into a second bedroom or a third bedroom, but it's an illegal use in that way. But on the contrary, a lot of people rent 2 bedrooms and use the second bedroom as their office. Sure. They really want a 1-bedroom office.
So it gives the opportunity to make a differentiation in price
between the first floor versus floors 2 and 3.
Yeah,
Because
it's,
obviously you get a little more square footage on floors 2 and 3.
yeah, I think it's like about 60 or 70 square foot,
65 feet.
8x8, 8x9
Something
or
like that.
something.
Is the person that asked for the lower amount looking for floor one?
I'm not sure, but
So that's something that we gotta figure out.
they
right?
certainly, if they're offered the smaller space at the lower rent and they are upset about that, you know, that's,
Yeah.
in my opinion, I'm sorry. But at the same time, we do have applications
Yeah.
at the normal rate. And, you know, Jamie, you know, you go up 4 blocks north and you're getting that all day
Yeah.
long. In South Troy, people are paying that amount for those amenities, dishwasher, washer, dryer,
Sure.
stone countertops, nice design look.
We had a great showing on Saturday. We had 3 or 4 parties, and we received 2 apps out of that.
So I think we have 3 applications at the $1,500 mark that can move to the tenant selection committee, and 1 that's looking for a reduced $1,350. So
That conversation will take place on
Wednesday, yeah.
night. Okay.
So you guys can't, I don't think you guys have the authority as the executive committee. It's not been delegated to you to make the decision on that. But certainly on Wednesday, anybody's ideas can fly if that's what they want to do.
Michelle, how would that look, as far as Brian's recommendation? Do we do that after this tenant selection committee meets?
No,
Yeah. What?
To give the board a range or the tenant selection
Oh,
committee?
well, when's the selection committee meeting?
Wednesday night, the 18th, here at the office.
Okay.
So that
what
is,
we would
that's
do
after
is
the board meeting.
you would set the range at the board meeting.
To allow,
So that by the
the,
time the selection committee meets,
That makes sense.
so we can apply that to this instance?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that was my question. I didn't know if this was gonna be moving forward or we could
yeah, no,
actually
thankfully
utilize
that
it here.
timing lines up, because otherwise, with the meeting, the selection meeting being after the board meeting, you can set the range at the board meeting so that that's in effect by the time the selection committee meets.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's make a motion.
Yep.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah, it's easy enough. And then the only other thing I had that we need to go over for the board meeting is the bookkeeper. So our bookkeepers, they changed their rate from, they were originally $811 and they now want us to sign a 6-month deal at $1,450. During the audit period, there was nobody in the office for, I think it was 3 weeks. Like my contact there wasn't there for 3 weeks due to a family emergency. When I reached out to the other individual that I know their contact, in the going away email, it said, reach out to this person if you need anything. And they were away a week on top of it. So like from January 31st to February 18th, our bookkeeper that we're primarily assigned to, which is the 3rd one this year, she was out of the office. And then when I reached out a couple times, that out of the office moved from the 12th to the 18th. And at that point on the 16th, I emailed the person that was supposed to back her up, and they were out till the 25th. So there was nobody available during the audit period. Because of that, there was, if you noticed at the last board meeting at the top, it said reconciled by Brad Lewis, because I had to reconcile for the last board meeting and for the year-end books so that the auditors could complete their audit. In that time period, the bookkeeper didn't recognize that they had to do end of the year journal entries. And so when we submitted our end of the year stuff, I had a meeting with them January 12th to tell them that they had to do the end of the year stuff, and they didn't, and they were gone effectively a whole month in between that time period that they didn't do their end of the year stuff. And so I ended up just submitting the bookkeepers as is reports. And if you remember in January, I also told everybody that the accounts payable was off and that we don't owe $500,000 to these contractors because they haven't finished. So because that this new bookkeeper that we were assigned in October had wanted to do the accounts payable in that fashion, which is against generally accepted accounting principles. And because they wanted to do it that way, our audit is going to come back as a severe deficiency, not a material deficiency or just a simple deficiency. So it's the middle range. We have a severe deficiency in the internal controls for the accounts payable because of the way we book the accounts payable. So for me, it's frustrating because I knew how to do it. And I told the person that was our bookkeeper, and they wanted to do it their way. I believe this happened. So when they came back, all of a sudden, they had emailed me on the 27th saying, oh, we went back and looked through the books and we fixed it all. It's ready for the audit. And I said, the audit's done. So I think they were frustrated that they didn't understand the timeline of our organization. And so on that heels, they decided, I think that a normal assigned bookkeeper probably can't do our accounts, and they need to escalate it to one of their higher members, or their higher members in their cooperative needs to look over everything. So because of that, they needed to raise our rates, or they're raising our rates to force our hand. So that being said,
And what's the current and raised rate again?
811 to 1450, or it's roughly 1450. I can see what I'm going to send out
What's the cycle on that, the billing cycle? That's monthly.
well, they want a 6-month contract with us. 1493 a month for 6 months. So we've already spent 811 twice with them for January and February. So at 1493 times 6, it's going to put us, I'm just going to do the calculator real quick. 811 times 2 plus 1493 times 6. That puts us at 10,580. 10,580. So I cannot unilaterally make that decision. So I can't sign the contract. So I have to bring it to the board. Two things that come out of that, Monica recommended I talk to BST for hire, which is a firm that does a lot of the finances for other public authorities around the area. And I have a person I've worked with in the past that's actually a CPA. I don't believe our bookkeeping cooperative is a CPA firm. I just think that they're bookkeepers. But I have an individual who's a bookkeeper or a CPA that's willing to do it for $800 a month. So those are our options. There's also the option that I could just do it, but that's an internal control question, and the question of whether the board will look at the reconciliations and the checking account statements and ask questions like Andrew Cooper did last month. By him asking that question about the $25,000 transfer, it establishes that our board is looking at the financial reports and asking questions. But if the board doesn't, they just rubber stamp it, it doesn't look good from internal controls. So having the second set of eyes in terms of I'll write the checks, Monica approves that the checks can be written, and then a CPA or bookkeeper logs them in the system. That's 3 sets of eyes on every transaction. Then finally the auditors audit it, and the board gets to see all the transactions. That establishes a strong segregation of duties and also an internal control. So that's the latest drama for our bookkeeper.
What's BST for hires number?
We don't have that yet, but Monica said yesterday she would get me a phone number to somebody. I'm sure.
800 is consistent with what we were previously.
Yeah.
Right.
A couple dollars cheaper.
Mm-hmm. And
I think having the
BST is probably going to be about a similar number from having
Similar
worked with
meaning
them in the
800
past.
or similar to 1,400?
Probably similar to the 14. I would think closer to the 1,400 than what
Gotcha.
you were currently
Thank
paying.
Okay.
I think having the third party is a good idea.
sure.
Why don't can you get a number from BST before Wednesday?
I could try.
And then you just then you got 3 numbers.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yep. Over 10,000, I think we need 2, but in under 10,000, I think you can just move forward. But we'll get the third one because people are interested.
I mean, I would be inclined to go with the CPA for 800.
Yeah.
For 2 reasons. Obviously, cost,
Mhm.
and 2, for Mill,
Familiarity. Yeah, if you recall, there was a gentleman from New Jersey that did the books when I started, and he was charging the land bank $1,000 a month to do that. Now I'm not gonna, there were months he did nothing, and I ended up doing all that, recreating of 2023, but that being said, that's what the rate was when he was doing it, so.
Prices don't go down on anything, so.
Sure.
A $200 savings is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we enjoyed the $200 from using Capital Bookkeeping Cooperative, and
Right.
we can still use them, but I think for them, they're recognizing their limits. They need to spend more time, and because they need to spend more time, they want to charge for that.
Well, the reality is you got two numbers to bring to the meeting Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
If you can get a third, it sweetens the pot, and then I think we should be able to make a decision on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's really all I have for the annual meeting parts of it. Obviously, we'll give our presentation with the annual report, but that was all we had.
Okay. So nothing else for executive committee?
Right. The only other thing is, as soon as we're done with the executive, we'll go into governance to talk
Right.
with Michelle about anything that we need to prepare for on you guys, and I'll add it to the agenda.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything for executive? Right? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yep. Just take out the top 2 pages, and you'll have the
Yeah.
governance and the meeting minutes from last government meeting last year.
All right, we're gonna have a call to order for now, Detroit Community Land Bank Governance Committee. It is the same date, March 13th, 2026, and it is now 9:01. We will start with the roll call again. Brian Barker.
Here.
Suzanne Spellin.
Here.
Jamie Mager here. Monica Kuziaski is absent. We also have Paul Donnelly, Brad Lewis, and Council Michelle Marinello. We do not have meeting minutes, correct?
It's right below
Yeah,
it.
okay. Can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes from our January 16th? Am I looking at the right page, Brad?
It should be March
No,
6th,
no.
March 20,
I'm looking at March 25th.
or is it 25th or 26th?
26.
I think it's the 26th.
All right, so then we'll say it's March 26th, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion on those minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes, minutes pass. And now we'll discuss any changes to the policies that'll be recommended to the board. And I think that's what Michelle is here for.
Yeah, if there is any.
Michelle, you got anything?
Sorry, Brad, you cut out, I couldn't hear you.
Do you have any just, recommendations to the board on changes of policy?
Yeah, I mean, not so much your policies, but usually what we will do from a governance perspective at the annual meeting is just either, if there's been any expressed interest about changing committee composition, we will do it at the annual meeting.
Okay.
And then also we have to, usually we reconfirm and ratify the officers as well. So I'm guessing, kind of given where you guys are at with the reconstitution, everyone's probably not really inclined to move anything around at this point. So we can just do a resolution that basically says, the committees for the remainder of 2026 are as follows. Here are their members. We're reconfirming that, the executives, the officers are as follows. Unless either you guys feel that someone wants to switch committees or has expressed interest in switching, or there's potentially like a new committee that you think you need. Did we, for the apartment committee, we just constituted that via the meeting minutes? Or do we have a formal resolution for that, Brad?
No, we did it in the meeting.
We did a meeting, so probably should do a resolution.
Is it more of an
Yeah,
ad hoc?
We should do a resolution.
No.
As part of the annual
regular.
meeting and committee ratification to say, and we're
Okay.
constituting a new committee of the corporation, for that,
I don't assume Monica wants to be there. So, Michelle, I think the executive committee that we have wants to stay in place.
perfect.
If you create this resolution to leave everything as is, that will give the ability for board members at the meeting to voice their want or.
Well, theoretically, we should have that beforehand. So I don't know if,
An email?
Brad, you want to just send out
Okay,
a standard type message to everybody to
Okay.
say, like, does anyone have interest in either stepping down from their officer position or switching committees?
all right. That's why I asked. So I should send out an email prior to Wednesday to see if there's any. Okay, all right. I just want to make sure I can do that. That's all.
Yep, nope, that would be good.
Okay.
And then the other kind of annual items that we usually keep track of and think about is I'll bring a bunch of your internal, conflict waivers. So we have to do the land bank's annual conflict of interest reporting. So I'll bring some of those for people to fill out during the meeting. And then, Brad, did we ever get from everyone the last time they did their ABO training? So ABO, you technically as land bank board members have to do every 3 years. I'm thinking a lot of people on this board probably have to do it for their regular jobs as well, so may have done it. But it probably would be good just as we're thinking of maintenance type things around the annual meeting to get that from everybody so we can see if anyone needs to take the training. Because I think you need to include that, or at least a statement about training as part of the Paris report, right?
Right.
Porter Blake's got me taking it now. I just should check it on the date. So So I'll be.
Yeah, we'll get everybody in compliance.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, like I said, I think most people on this board in particular probably have taken it either for work or, if not, let's just get everyone's last date and then get them started on it if anyone is beyond 3 years.
Okay.
That's kind of it for annual meeting compliance for you guys. There's not much to do. I mean, obviously the big thing at the annual meeting is always resetting the officers committees, approving the audit. But otherwise there's really nothing too special that makes it like an annual meeting, like
Presentation.
members or something.
That's what I thought this was,
The
right?
presentation is the most important part.
That's to the council.
Well, to you guys.
When did you do the books? When did you make those books?
Yeah,
That's the presentation?
to you guys, and then we have to do one to the council as well. Yeah.
All right. That's what I confused this with,
Mhm.
when you sent me that time.
Mhm.
Okay. So I don't think we have anything else. I'll send that email. I'll send an email out to the entire board to see if there's interest in anybody moving around or changing committees. And I think we should be all set for for Wednesday.
Yes. Yeah, if you, Brad, do you want me to do these resolutions, or are you gonna do them?
You can do them for the committees and,
The officers?
yeah,
Okay, so Jamie, if you can let me know by, if we can get responses from everybody by Monday, so that I can just finish the resos on Tuesday before the meeting, that would be good.
Yeah, I'll fire off an email this afternoon and I'll circle back with you on Monday.
Perfect.
Do you want to connect prior to that? Or do you want to just handle it all at one shot when I talk to you on Monday?
We can do it all on Monday.
Sounds good. All right, anybody else have anything? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion,
second.
All in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.